Have you ever looked at a construction site and wondered about the steel bars woven throughout the concrete? Those bars are called reinforcing bars, or simply rebar, and they play a vital role in making buildings, bridges, and other structures strong enough to withstand enormous forces. In this video, we'll take a closer look at how rebar is manufactured, from the raw materials used to produce steel all the way to the finished bars delivered to construction sites. Along the way, we'll also discover why rebar is one of the most important materials in modern construction. Let's explore right here on History of Simple Things. The use of reinforcing materials dates back to the 19th century when builders began embedding iron bars into concrete to improve its strength. French gardener and inventor Joseph Monnier popularized reinforced concrete in the 1860s by using iron mesh in garden pots. His innovation revolutionized construction, leading to the widespread development of modern steel rebar used worldwide today. Before exploring the manufacturing process, it's important to understand what rebar actually does. Concrete is exceptionally strong when it is compressed, but it has very little resistance to pulling or stretching forces. Rebar solves this problem by providing the tensile strength that concrete lacks. When steel reinforcement is embedded inside concrete, the two materials work together to create structures capable of carrying heavy loads while resisting cracking, earthquakes, and harsh environmental conditions. Rebar is available in different diameters and strength grades, and its distinctive ribbed surface helps it bond tightly with the surrounding concrete. The journey of rebar begins with steel production. Steel is primarily made from iron, which is extracted from iron ore mined deep beneath the Earth's surface. After mining, the ore undergoes several refining processes that separate impurities and produce molten iron. This molten metal is then combined with carefully measured amounts of elements such as carbon, manganese, and silicon to create steel with specific mechanical properties. Depending on the intended application, the chemical composition may vary slightly, but rebar steel generally contains between 0.2 and 0.6% carbon. Once the steel has been produced, it must be transformed into a form suitable for rolling into reinforcing bars. This starts with the steelmaking process, which is commonly carried out using one of two methods: the basic oxygen furnace, or BOF, and the electric arc furnace, known as the EAF. In the basic oxygen furnace process, oxygen is blown into molten iron at high speed to remove excess carbon and other unwanted impurities. This technique is widely used by large integrated steel plants that produce steel directly from iron ore and coking coal. The electric arc furnace follows a different approach. Instead of relying mainly on newly mined iron, it melts recycled steel scrap using powerful electric arcs. Because it reuses existing materials and generally consumes fewer natural resources, the EAF process has become increasingly popular as the steel industry works toward more sustainable manufacturing. Regardless of which method is used, the finished molten steel is cast into large rectangular billets that will later become reinforcing bars. The next stage is hot rolling, where the billets are transformed into long lengths of rebar. First, the billets are heated inside a furnace to temperatures ranging from approximately 1,000 to 1,200 degrees Celsius. At these temperatures, the steel becomes soft enough to be shaped without breaking. The heated billets then pass through a series of rolling mills equipped with specially designed rollers. With each pass, the steel becomes longer, thinner, and gradually takes on the familiar shape of reinforcing bar. The rollers are precisely engineered to produce rebars in a variety of standard diameters, typically ranging from 6 mm up to 40 mm. Once the desired dimensions have been achieved, the hot bars are rapidly cooled through a controlled process called quenching. This sudden cooling increases the steel's strength and toughness while maintaining sufficient flexibility. After cooling, the rebar is cut into standard commercial lengths, which commonly range from 6 to 12 meters. The finished bars then undergo surface finishing to improve their performance when embedded in concrete. One of the most recognizable features of rebar is its raised ribs or deformations. These patterns are specifically designed to create a stronger mechanical grip between the steel and the surrounding concrete, reducing the risk of slipping under heavy loads. To improve durability, especially in aggressive environments, rebar may also receive protective coatings that resist corrosion. This is particularly important for structures exposed to moisture, salt water, or chemicals that can cause rust over time. Common protective finishes include epoxy coatings, galvanized zinc, and specialized plastic coatings, each selected according to the environmental conditions where the rebar will be used. Quality control is an essential part of every stage of rebar production. Manufacturers perform numerous inspections and laboratory tests to verify that each batch meets strict engineering standards. These evaluations include tensile strength testing, bend tests, dimensional inspections, and chemical composition analysis. Industry standards established by organizations such as ASTM International and the American Concrete Institute help ensure that rebar consistently delivers the strength, flexibility, and durability required for safe construction. Only after successfully passing these rigorous tests is the finished product approved for shipment. In the end, producing rebar is far more than simply shaping steel into long rods. It is a carefully controlled manufacturing process that combines advanced metallurgy, precision engineering, and strict quality assurance to create one of the most essential materials in the construction industry. From mining iron ore and producing steel to rolling, cooling, surface treatment, and final inspection, every stage contributes to a product that strengthens the buildings, bridges, highways, and infrastructure we rely on every day. So, the next time you notice stacks of steel bars at a construction site, you'll know there's an impressive manufacturing journey behind each one. Those simple-looking rods are the hidden backbone of modern structures, helping make our cities safer, stronger, and built to last. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.